Hello everyone, and in this video I would like to show you a very interesting and a very interactive chess game. So in this chess game we have Brause, the chess computer with the white pieces, and its opponent is a human, an unknown human opponent with the black pieces. And Brause is not a well-known chess computer. It is not like a famous chess computer like Stockfish. So the chess computer had the white pieces, and this was an online blitz chess game from the internet chess server from 1996, and it was a blitz chess game. So I think this is a very interesting chess game. So let's see what happened in this chess game. Brause, the chess computer, starts the game with knight to c3. We have knight to f6, and then e4, e5, knight to f3. So we have the Russian game. The game is transposing into the Russian game, but three knights game of the Russian game. And after knight to c6, this is the four knights game. But it is white to move. Now this is the first interesting moment of the game, and white played a very interesting move. In this position, Brause, the chess computer, picked its knight, and the computer sacrificed the knight on e5. So this looks like a suicidal move, but actually it is not all that unlogical. It is actually sound in a way. If your opponent doesn't know what to do against an unprepared opponent, actually this is possible. And do you know what is the name of this sacrifice? What is the name of this gambit? So this is the Halloween Gambit, and one of the most interesting names for a chess opening, for a chess gambit, isn't it? And why it is Halloween Gambit? Well, actually the Halloween Gambit is known as the Leipzig Gambit or Müller-Schultz Gambit. So it's a very aggressive chess opening, and white sacrifices a knight early for a single pawn. So why they called this the Halloween Gambit? Well, it is because it looks shocking, and it looks like it is scaring black the way it is scaring a human being with a frightening Halloween mask. So usually, of course, in the Halloween Gambit, it happens in four knights game. It is a variation in four knights game. So in four knights game, black prepares himself for a boring positional chess game, but out of the blue, white sacrifices the knight, and this is a shocking move. This is why it is known as the Halloween Gambit. So in the real chess game, it is accepted. Knight takes on e5. So white only gets one single pawn for a knight. But white is also getting a pretty strong center. So after pushing the d pawn, kicking the knight back, and this is actually the most logical move in this position. Knight to c6, not knight to g6. But of course, if black can defend himself accurately, black is going to be much better, because sacrificing the whole piece for a pawn is not very sound, actually. But against an unprepared opponent, like I said, white is going to get a lot of attacking chances. So d5 by Brause, and this is a critical moment in the game, and our human representative played a bad move. He played knight to b8. It is not like end of the life, but this was a passive move. In this position, if that ever happens to you, of course, if you ever play with a player who plays the Halloween Gambit against you, consider not knight back to b8, but knight to e5. That would be better. So if knight to e5, then white can play greedy with playing f4. So where is the knight going? Don't forget knight to g6 this time is okay. So if pushing the e-pawn, you can see that white actually has an intimidating center. But knight goes back to g8, and if d6, which is the strongest move in this position for white, Well, black is actually slightly better in this position, so e takes on d6 and queen to e2 is coming. So in this position, black has to play queen to f6 so that black can defend with the queen. And then knight to b5 and threatening knight to c7. Now, how do you defend that? Well, don't forget that white simply sacrificed the whole piece. So actually black can afford the rook, losing the rook. So this is the idea of black. You can see that after queen to f6, black is both attacking the d pawn and also attacking the f pawn. So knight takes on f4, making knight to c7 possible. After moving the king, capturing the rook, but after bishop takes on d6, actually black has a very good position and the knight is trapped. Actually, saving this knight is not very easy, but black is losing the casting rights and black is losing the exchange. So this is actually one of the most accurate ways to play against the Halloween Gambit. So you can see that the Halloween Gambit could be actually pretty tricky against, especially against a player who doesn't know what he's doing. So, and in this example, the player with the black pieces doesn't know what he's doing. He is unprepared. So this is a very good example. d5, knight to b8. So this is why knight to e5 is better, and you will see why actually. So e5, and white has pretty strong center, so kicking the knight back, and then d6, exchanging the pawns, and black has a cramped position. So queen to e2 is possible, and how do you defend? You have to defend with a piece and quickly getting back the material, and knight can also jump. So knight can jump, and threatening knight to c7 is also possible. This is a very dangerous position. So queen to f6, this is why, making room for the king as well, and attacking the d pawn, and if checking the king, blocking with the queen is possible. Knight to b5, attacking on c7, knight to a6, defending on c7, and bishop to c4, also a very logical move. Every move of white is pinpoint accuracy. So of course white is a computer, that's what we expect from a computer. So queen check is possible, and you can only you can't block with the queen this time because bishop is defending, occupying on e6. So knight to h6. So this is the idea of black. Black is having difficulties for castling and developing his pieces. As you can see, a lot of pieces of black is in the 8th rank, and white also castled, and now black simply wants to push the pawn, develop the bishop and castle. But let's see if black has time. We have g6, but queen to e2, so most definitely black doesn't have time. This is why white played bishop to c4, so black can't block with the queen. King to d8, and then rook to e1. Every move is a threat. Now threatening checkmate, queen to e8, only defense, defending with the bishop. Bishop to g7, defending with the rook after moving the bishop, but it is white to move. Now what would you do in this position? White has a very strong move that wins the game on the spot. So can you see the next move that Brause played? The chess computer. Not as strong as Stockfish probably, but much stronger compared to an average human being. Okay, so this is the move, queen to e7, and this is the only defensive move. Queen to e7, only move. Capturing the queen, only move, and then knight to d6, checkmate. So what do you think about this chess game? I think it was interesting, and maybe you learned a few things about the Halloween Gambit as well, and you can use the Halloween Gambit against your opponents maybe, if they don't know how to defend, if they are unprepared against the Halloween Gambit. So this is actually a very good example. This speed chess game shows what can befall an unprepared player of the black pieces. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.